Hello, how are we?
We are great.
Good. How are
Hello.
you?
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm loving Loot, except Maya, you have forced me to view Adam Scott as a bad husband, and it is horrible. Can you talk about how he is the catalyst for change in Molly's life?
Yes, thank God we saw Adam Scott in Step Brothers to know that he can be a real douchebag. But played so beautifully, and he, because he's a douchebag, he ends up, really completely turning Molly's life upside down. He cheats on her, they get divorced, and because they didn't have a prenup, she's left with $87 billion, which is what happens to everybody, right?
I wish. That would be so great.
Yeah.
Michaela Jaé, I love this little dynamic that you've got going on with Molly's character. At first, it's like, why are you here? But, over the course of the season, we get a real camaraderie there. Can you talk about working with Maya and how Sophia comes to view her differently?
Yeah, well, working with Maya was a dream. I never thought, as much as I dreamed of working with her in my time, I never thought I would get a chance to actually work with Maya. And it's such a pleasure actually sharing space with her. So that's number one. And two, I think the development of Sophia was helped through the character of Molly specifically, like reading the scripts and seeing how in the very beginning, she's so standoffish and she's like, what are you doing? You don't have any understanding about how this works when it comes to the business side, and where have you been for this long? And then come to realize she's like, oh, this is someone who actually I strive to be like. And at some point in life, I want to be able to be financially stable and able to do this. So maybe I do need to take a page out of her book and we can learn from each other. And I think that's what happens.
Nice.
I love that. Speaking of learning from each other, what is something that you learned from Molly's journey, whether it comes from the spirit of giving or, making friendships at work?
Well, I do think about making friendships at work because you really don't know what your life is going to be, especially in a situation like that when her life changes so radically. I don't think she was anticipating at all what this new life was going to be and how she was going to end up developing new relationships and creating a new family. And so her work family really is like the biggest surprise, I think, to every element of her life. I think she really never saw that coming and what that gives her.
We get to hear a little bit about Sophia's backstory in one of the early episodes. That was really interesting to me. What aspects of her life would you like to explore more if we get more seasons?
Oh, I mean, whoa, it's a pretty darn good question. Maybe just an understanding of her family and see if they're still around, see if she's still in contact with them. And I mean, I'm sure she still is, but when you're as busy as her, and I'm sure she wouldn't want to pass up on her family, but she seems like such a workhorse that she would probably do something like that. So maybe her family and see, how she got to where she was because of her family.
Yes. Now, finally, because we are about the spirit of giving at Loot, what is one cause near and dear to your heart that you would like viewers to help with?
Oh, there are so many. Oh gosh. You really put me on the spot.
Sorry.
I'm just going to say Planned Parenthood because it's the first one I thought about.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
That works for me today. Today, Planned Parenthood.
It needs us today. That is true.
Yep.
True.
Thank you guys so much. You're fabulous. The show is fabulous.
Thank you,
Lovely.